Welcome to the Recognized Student Organization Officer Training. In this tutorial, I will cover the recognition process for student orgs, as well as the perks and benefits to becoming a recognized student organization at Minnesota State, Mankato. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. First and foremost, the recognition process does take place annually. So every year, organizations are expected to submit for recognition if they plan to operate for that year. The recognition process is all done through our online registration system called MavSync. Now, just to clear up any confusion from the get-go, MavSync is actually powered by OrgSync, as you can see here in the hyperlink. It has been branded, however, as MavSync to our university. MavSync is where you go to re-recognize your organization and or make updates to information within your organization, such as leadership changes, a change in advisor, updates to your constitution or your roster, or things of that nature. So this is where you'd go to update all those things throughout the year, but especially during the fall recognition process. This is also obviously where you'd go for initial recognition for a new RSO that you're attempting to create. Here's the hyperlink to which you could find MavSync. You can also go to the RSO website, mnsu.edu/activities/RSO, and find the directory there. Registration for 2014-15 begins Monday, August 25th, the first day of classes, and will resume through September 30th. I do need to stress here it's very important that you get your registration in within this window of time, as after September 30th we will no longer accept recognition for organizations that have been recognized formally. New RSOs may be considered, but long-standing RSOs will not be given that privilege. The registration process once you've submitted is as follows. You, the student officer, submit. Your advisor is then sent an email asking them to review and approve your submission. Once they have approved it, it's sent along to MSSA or Student Senate, and they review your application. And once they've reviewed and approved, we will list you as an RSO on our website and in the directory so students can find you. However, I want you to know that between these steps, you, the advisor, Student Senate, and us, there may be some updates that you'll have to do. So don't be discouraged if you are asked to run some updates on your application. Now, with recognition comes several benefits. One of them is that you have the ability to request space free of charge through our scheduling office. Requesting space is all done through virtual EMS software. RSOs are actually asked to use their MNSU email account for their student organization when they make meeting requests or requests for space for events that they're holding. So if you do not currently have an mnsu.edu address for your student organization, you'll want to make sure to stop by Student Activities CSU 173 and look into the email or make a request to have one if one is not already made. Then you log in to EMS via the scheduling website when you want to make a reservation. That web address is right here, as you can see. This will bring you to a page where you'll see this image here as pictured here. You'll click on this logo here and it's going to ask you to log in. Logging into EMS is simple once you have your group email. So, as an example, I've got RSO at mnsu.edu, and we'll pretend that this is an organization. For my login, it is my email. For the password, I will enter anything that prefaces the @mnsu.edu, and that will be my password. From there, I'm logged into the EMS system and can make reservations underneath my organization's account. Now, for general meeting reservations, there is no need to fill out a special event checklist. However, if you are hosting a larger event on campus in excess of 100 people, it's a concert, a cultural night, a big speaker, anything like that where you have especially folks coming from off campus, you do need to fill out a special event checklist and will be prompted to do so when you make your reservation. That special event checklist, fortunately, is hosted within MavSync right underneath your portal. So if you go into your organization's portal, in this case, I'm in the Recognized Student Organizations portal, and click on Forms within your organization's portal, you will see Special Event Checklist right here. Simply click on the checklist, click Fill Out, and submit all the information for that event. I need to stress here to you that you do have to do this 2 weeks prior to your event in order for you to maintain that space. If you have not submitted a special event checklist before within that 2-week time, they can cancel your reservation at any time. So please make sure that you do that. It's also just a courtesy to the scheduling folks for the hard work that they're doing up there. Now, depending on the safety measurements taken or needed for your event or security needs, Chandler Holland, our Director of Risk Management, and or Susie Dugan, Director of Campus Security, may also be asked to review your special event checklist. So, you fill it out, it goes to your advisor, he or she approves or denies your checklist, and then Chandler or Susie are contacted, perhaps depending on your need. Logan, our technical coordinator, may also be contacted if you have high-tech needs for your event. I do want to note here that for the special event checklist, when you fill that out for speakers and large engagements, these types of events require lots of planning. You really need to make sure that you're planning far in advance in order for you to implement successfully and have a good turnout. For guidance of planning large-scale events, I encourage you to visit the RSO website, the mnsu.edu, that whole link here, and on this page you will actually find two video tutorials, that run you through the steps needed to plan a large-scale event. I also need to make you aware that speakers and larger events, you cannot bring them to campus unless there's a contract created. And you, as leader of your organization, or any member of your organization, are not allowed to sign any contracts on behalf of the university. So if you are hosting a large speaker event, you do need to make sure that you contact the contracts office and business services in order to have a contract created. You'll find a creating contracts video tutorial as well on the RSO website. Now, another benefit to being a recognized student organization is that on campus you have the ability to sign up to have a banking account. Now, you can have either an on-campus account called a 901 account, or you can get an account through Wells Fargo or Affinity Plus. For Wells Fargo and Affinity Plus, you simply have to stop by their locations and visit with someone there on how to set those up. For the 901 accounts, you can actually request that account within the RSO portal on MavSync. Simply go to the RSO portal. As a leader, you should be a member of that portal anyways, and then go to Forms and find Request 901 Account. You also have the ability to fundraise both on and off campus. On campus, groups oftentimes do bake sales, barbecues, different things that can bring in money. You might do even necklace making or bracelet making or pretty much anything you can think of. You have 3 permits per semester that you can use. Now, I do want to let you know that for both on-campus and community-wide fundraising events, any fundraising events that your organization is doing, it's important that you fill out the fundraising request form within your portal under Forms. And we'll kind of review all the different forms and where they're located at the end of this tutorial. But you do need to fill out your fundraising request for both on and on-campus fundraisers. Apparently I can't talk today. So community-wide, oftentimes students do Buffalo Wild Wings, Pizza Ranch. There's a number of other ones out there. Just stop by Student Activities Office and visit with an RSO staff member for a more detailed list of that. Also, as a recognized student organization, you are eligible for student allocation funding. So, you are eligible to apply for up to $500 for an event or program that you are hosting on campus or hoping to host. You are also allowed to apply for travel funding to go to a conference or something along those lines. Travel funding, you're eligible for up to $50 per member who will be going to the conference or the travel trip with you. This form is also found underneath Forms within your portal. Simply click on the form, fill it out, and that form will be directed to the Student Allocation Committee, who will then make a choice on your application. Next, we have promoting and posting and advertising. There's a lot of opportunities for you to market your organization here. Opportunities through Scheduling Office, CSU 219, include tabling in the CSU, CSU showcases as pictured here, which are between Barnes & Noble Bookstore and Student Activities Office on the main level in the CSU. And you also have the availability of CSU poster holders, as pictured here, which you see around the CSU. Banners are also something that you can do. Banners are often hung in the stairwells within the CSU going down to the lower level. If that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and talk to Scheduling in CSU 219 for an overview of how to do that application. And actually, a request is for a special hanging is within your portal, and I'll go over that at the end. You also have the opportunity to sign up for community fairs that are held in September and January. In September for 2014, we have 2 different events, which all RSO leaders have already been emailed about. Fall Fair for RSOs is within the CSU Mall outside on Thursday, September 18th, and you can go to the RSO portal, and register for that fair. Just click on the RSO Fair registration under Forms and you're set to go. Posters. All posters or graphics, this includes graphics on t-shirts, must be approved by our office, the Office of Student Activities. So I'll show you where a form is for you to fill out in order to gain approval for your poster or your t-shirt graphic, or any graphic you have for your organization. Then, once it's approved, and specifically for posters, you can actually have them printed and stamped in CSU 220 in order to hang them up all around campus, which buys you 2 weeks of time for them to be up and not removed from those locations. Posters without stamps on them will be removed. We will also provide you with a handout in Student Activities on where you can actually find bulletin boards around campus for hanging them. The other resource that we have within Student Activities Office would be the sandwich boards, as pictured here in the lower right-hand corner. We have a number of orange boards that RSOs can check out for 2 weeks at a time for their organization. Once you check that out at the front desk, you're able to set it up around campus and or move it within that 2-week time. Another opportunity is the RSO newsletter. This newsletter and submitting events to us is also done in the RSO portal. And a lot of these forms that you're filling out, it'll make a little bit more sense when I go over the forms at the end of this tutorial. Finally, another way of advertising your organization's happenings is through our campus newspaper, The Reporter. You can always go up to that office on the second level of the CSU and ask to speak with the editor-in-chief so that you can see if they'll cover a story for your event. Other RSO resources that you're eligible for once you're recognized are email accounts, as alluded to earlier when scheduling events. If you don't have an email account currently for your RSO, we can set up accounts for you in Student Activities, and you can fill out a form actually online for it so you don't even have to stop by. If you need members' names to be added to that email account so that they can send and receive emails from that account, all you need to do is send an email to ashley.strom@mnsu.edu or stop by the Student Activities Office and talk to someone on the RSO team. And we can add those people to your account. RSO website is another great resource for you. Under the resource page, especially within the RSO website, you will find a bunch of different tutorials that will help you understand how to create contracts, market your organization, and different things like that. Plan an event, again, like alluded to in the big events. There's 2 video tutorials there that are immensely helpful to you as you get rolling throughout the year. We also have mailboxes for all recognized student organizations. As pictured here, they're in the front of the Student Activities Office. Once your group is recognized, you will have a mailbox here and can have mail sent here, and also should check it about once a week, every 2 weeks maybe, for any pertinent information in that box. Your 901 account balance sheets are something that do go in that box. So if nothing else, you want to check it for that. We also have an RSO office space. The RSO clubhouse is pictured here. Within this space, we have storage lockers that organizations can apply to have so that they can store things throughout the operations of that year. So I'll show you where that form is at the end. The Imagination Station is open to all RSOs who are recognized, and you can create poster boards here with the posters that we have. We have scissors, glue, a whole gank load of materials for you to be able to create publicity for your event. We also offer program and event advice. The RSO student staff is available to visit with you anytime about the programs that you wish to host. So don't hesitate to stop by student activities and ask for an RSO staff member. The Leadership Library is also open to groups. As pictured here, we've got a number of games in there. We also have books on leadership and icebreakers and different things like that. So if you're looking for some resources there, go ahead and stop by our office and we can let you in there as well. Now, MavSync. I can't stress to you enough, MavSync is one of your greatest resources as an organization. This tool is meant to be an organizational software, so it's supposed to help you manage the workings of your group throughout the year. So if you really want to wrap your head around that tool and understand how it can serve your group, check out MavSync Help Portal. Go onto MavSync, log in, and join this portal so that you can see video tutorials for all the tools within your MavSync portal. Finally, the Forms section underneath your organization's portal is the one-stop shop for all forms that you need to complete on campus. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an overview of that now. As seen here, we've got the special event checklist. We have the graphic approval for posters, t-shirts, and any other graphics that you need to get done that you can fill out here. Johnson Alumni Room is a special room over the basketball area. That is a room that is only reserved for special events. So this form is right here for you to fill out if your group is wanting that space. Promotional use request. This is something that you fill out if you have a special use request for hanging a banner within the CSU. And then Lenny Kopel and his graphics team will go ahead and review this and approve or deny this request and get back to you. Fundraising request form. Now if you're doing a bake sale or a barbecue or anything like that on campus, as I've mentioned earlier, you do have 3 permits per semester to do these things, to raise funds for your organization. The funding request form is here. However, I do want to let you know that if funding is gained through ticket sales for one of the large-scale events that you're doing, there's no need to go to this form here. Because if you're collecting money for tickets, which is a fundraiser for you, that will all be alluded to here in your special events checklist, and they'll know that that is a fundraising opportunity for you. The Student Food Development Application is the form that you fill out if you'd like to use the kitchen within Multicultural Student Center. Potluck social reservation. Groups are invited to do potlucks on campus. However, the potlucks must be only catered to their organization. It cannot be used for recruiting other members. It must be something that's only for the members of your organization already. That request can be filled out here and scheduling will review it. Now, the funding request forms for SAC. The Student Activity Funding Request for RSO Travel and Conferences, that's this form here. You'd click here and fill out all the sections very detailed so that SAC, Student Allocations Committee, can make a decision on your request. Student Activity Funding Request for RSO Programs is here. Now remember, for RSO programs, you have up to $500 that can be allocated to you. You're going to have to really make your case here for why you think your organization deserves this funding, however. Then we've got Community Promotion Request Form. This is for the main page within MavSync, and I'll go to that in a second. Finally, we've got the Student Organization OrgSync Administrator Access Request. If you are a leader of your organization and have not already been granted administrator access, of your portal, this is what you would need to fill out. So you'd want to find this within any organization that you're currently part of underneath the Forms tab, but then fill it out for that organization that you need admin access for. Okay, so the Community Promotion Request Form before we wrap up here. Simply, if I go to the MavSync homepage by clicking on the logo in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a banner that will show up here typically. The banner is not active right now, but you will see it once the school year starts. This banner is what you are requesting a promotion for. So if that's something that interests your organization, we often have them do submissions for events that are coming up, recruitment items, and things of that nature. So you'd submit those there, and then the RSO group will review them, and a staff member will contact you and let you know about your request. That brings us to the end of the presentation. So the final thing I'll wrap up on is just say find us on social media. We've got a Facebook page as well as a Twitter page. MNSU RSOs at Student Leadership for Facebook, and then RSO Mankato for Twitter. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening on these two pages that'll help keep you in the loop on RSO opportunities. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to stop by Student Activities in CSU 173.